Hello, welcome to Skip to the End. My name is Michael, and as always, I am joined by B.
I was going to say wife.
Wife. We are married and on the internet.
Oh, nothing could ever go wrong or right with this combination.
What?
Are you not aware of... There's like a vibe of family or marriage channels that it's all about the content, get the content. And sometimes they break up and then it's like awkward because your whole like internet presence is like, me and my spouse.
Well, I guess to that I say, since you opened the first show, putting that out there, we'll just see. I don't know. It's a real time capsule.
Oh, man. Well, here's to that not being an issue. But I don't think our lives are about the content. We're kind of just like also doing this.
Hey, B.
Hey.
How are you?
Oh, I'm real tired.
Great. Good.
I'm a tired little cookie. Cookie. It's been a day, and then right now it's currently a night. It's turning into more of night.
Yes.
And I gotta say I'm tired, but I'm here. I'm ready to go.
This is great. I feel like this isn't the movie that I would have necessarily picked first to watch. Why?
How are you? There's no reciprocation.
Well, it's thank you. I never think to.
You should think of these things. Hey, men, think about your feelings and how you feel, your emotions.
A bigger lesson.
Lessons every day, baby.
What was the question?
How are you?
I'm okay.
Good.
I'm a little tired, but not like crazy tired. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that I could have done today, and I did a fraction of it. And you know what? Enough fractions
add up.
Fractions add up to a whole.
Yeah, they sure do. Tagline. Fractions add up to a whole.
Yeah, there we go. So
that's the title of the podcast or a tagline for this episode.
All right. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll notice that it's on YouTube. If you're listening to it podcast, just know it's only a podcast because B keeps saying, "Are we doing this podcast?" I'm like, "It's not a podcast, but I guess
there are podcasts that are in this format." So I just feel, potato, tomato, tomato.
So we're going to watch end of a movie in case this is your first time watching or listening to the show, and it's likely because this is our first episode of the show.
That'll do it.
It's called Skip to the End for a reason. I'm going to ask you questions just up top.
Yep.
So it doesn't seem like I'm leading the witness.
Sure.
How do you feel about spoilers?
I don't mind a spoiler. It depends on the movie.
Okay.
Or the bit of content. Like a TV show. Like if it's something that, I'm interested in seeing, I kind of want to see it.
Right.
But conversely, if it's, a bit of a slog to get through and a longer program, like I have been known to watch a recap video on 2X to get the gist.
Right.
And sometimes I'll double back and watch, and sometimes I'm like, well, the time was well spent.
Right.
And I don't get that time back anyway, so I might as well keep moving forward.
Now, to be honest, I knew what that answer was going to be because I have seen you watch a show and then just decide, I'm not going to watch 5 seasons of this.
Yep.
Let me just look up how this ends.
Sometimes I will just jump in. I'll try to, because sometimes they suck you in with their intriguing plot lines.
Sure.
But sometimes I'll try to just like skip a couple episodes in, start there, or like I'll go every other episode. I do that sometimes on rewatches. I might just like jump around.
Okay.
Because, time is the only resource we cannot increase.
It's true. Probably. Yeah, that makes sense.
Probably. You can increase money.
I think carbon might be finite.
Okay, I don't know that the average person is like thinking about carbon in the same way that we're thinking about time.
They got to start thinking about it.
You're right.
All right, so we're going to watch the end of a movie.
Yes.
That you have not seen.
Correct.
And then based off of what you're looking at on screen, you're going to guess with those context clues what the heck you just watched.
Okay.
And
what might have happened to lead up to that thing?
Yeah, that's all that stuff. But first, we have to make sure that you haven't seen it. So on this episode, we're going to be watching a movie that I would not have chosen at first, but I was trying to think of a movie that was available that I remember the ending strongly for some reason.
Okay.
And that I was 99% sure that you have not seen.
I would love to know how you came to this percentage, but carry on.
Okay, well, have you ever seen a movie called Saturday the 14th?
What?
Okay, so no. The movie is called Saturday the 14th.
What?
What do you know about this movie was my next question, but it sounds like nothing.
I know the title. Is this some sort of is this a parody?
So now we're in the realm of guessing. So
am I not supposed to guess right now?
you can guess.
Okay.
I just want to make it clear that you don't know anything about this movie, about the title.
This sounds like a joke.
Okay, cool.
So sorry to that movie. I'm so sorry. I don't know what you are.
Well, you don't know. That's fine.
Saturday the 14th sounds to me like some sort of answer response about Friday the 13th.
Right.
Because, chronological order comes after. And so it makes me wonder if it's like a low budget horror movie or some sort of parody of the Friday the 13th movies.
Okay. If you could summarize what you think in like a sentence or two, the general...
Based off the title?
Yeah.
I didn't know this was a thing that was required. Okay.
Sorry, read the contract.
All right. So Saturday the 14th is a movie about a young lady who has been wronged by society, and she decides to take her revenge in only the way a slasher flick can.
Great.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that.
That does. I mean, the alternative way of me asking this is how would you pitch that movie? And I feel like that also worked.
Same energy? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I guess we'll see if you're right. We'll all discover together except for me.
Okay.
All
so
right.
the whole movie is on YouTube. That's a great sign.
Yeah, the whole movie's free on YouTube.
I wonder when it came out.
No one is chasing after this. All right.
Let's go.
Yeah, and feel free to be vocal about how you're feeling about this.
All right. Okay.
I know. Everything's gonna be fine.
Okay, weird. Okay, weird. Vampires. What? Where is this? Is this baby a vampire?
All will be revealed later.
Why is this man growling? What an angle. What is it called when you record the voiceover after the fact?
ADR, I think.
It's given ADR. Mm-hmm. Why with the low angles? Wow. Okay, graphics. Does this come out in the 70s?
All will be revealed.
Oh man, these reactions. Oh, the vampires are so sad. Is that the sun? Oh no. Or is it not the sun? What's happening?
S-U-N or S-O-N?
S-U-N. It got brighter. What is this woodwind? It's very, is it a dog or a person pretending to be a dog? What an aggressive bark.
Yeah. Well, Fido's back, apparently.
Wait.
Destroying the book would free the monster.
I'm sorry. Wait. What's his name?
Jeffrey Tambor.
What?
The way it works.
Thank you for coming.
What is...
Thank you.
Are we... Was it... Everybody's facial expression is confusing.
I had a favorite swell party. Have a nice day.
Okay, so this guy is not part of the family. Oh, they don't even know who he is. What? What?
I think they've had enough of this house.
Oh,
I think so too.
who's talking?
They live happily.
Oh, the vampires. Okay.
Us too.
Of course.
That's so stilted. Okay. We're panning out to show a house. I guess the house had some sort of monster infestation. All right, I will say, I did see a little bit of the credits. So
Right.
to be clear, when I said the baby, I meant the young child. It was a youth, a very happy, smiley youth with a vampire cape, and he had a book. I don't think he was a vampire. He didn't have the telltale teeth. So it was just a dude that was that was growling. Weird. But the boy banished all the other monsters. So cool.
So now that you have this information, do you want to revise your guess
boy.
about what the plot of the movie
Yeah,
is?
I think I was off. I'm going to say that a family moves into a house, and unbeknownst to them, it is a house that has been owned for generations by people who are connected to monsters. And on Saturday the 14th, that is the day when the monsters want to play. and shenanigans ensue.
Okay, that's your guess.
Yeah, that's my revised guess. Well, because there was a random yellow shirted boy. I should say young man.
Sure.
Who was in the house, who I guess was scared, but he just seemed mostly confused. Very odd.
Let's get into the reveal then, because you still have questions, which is fine.
Many.
The positives. We'll just start with the positives.
Like what I got right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Definitely a campy takeoff on Friday the 13th in title only.
Okay, I was about to say nothing I saw was giving Friday the 13th at all.
No.
So it's just a fun, like, we're using a similar naming structure.
Similar naming structure, and we're making fun of scary movies overall.
As a concept.
So
For anyone not watching, Michael did a wave of the arm.
Wave of the arm, and that would be everyone, because even if you're on YouTube, I'm not doing an animation with this arm. So you got that right. It's definitely a spoof off of that.
Okay.
You said in the 70s or something like that. It's 81, I think, is when it came out. So pretty close.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Pretty close.
Yeah. I mean, it came out in 81. Was it filmed in 80?
Oh, I'm sure this had a 2-year post-production to get all the effects.
Those effects, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Effects have come a long way.
They've come a long way.
I will say that.
I don't think in 81 that these were the pinnacle of their effects, though.
What are other movies that came out in 81?
It was Empire Strikes Back.
I was going to say, there was like one of the Star Wars, and I feel like
Maybe.
we definitely had better than Weird Little Spooky Sparks. And
Empire.
that weird glow that they put over the bad guy / monster.
Yeah, Empire Strikes Back came out in 1980, so they had a year's worth of development between Empire Strikes Back and what we just saw.
Puffers.
It's true.
Is what I say to that.
And this somehow looks, whatever camera they're using or film, it makes it look even older than 81, I'd say.
Yeah, there's like a blue kind of haze.
Yeah, it's a real poor film stock, I guess.
A lot of choices. Also, there's just such an extreme low angle. Like, yes. I probably could have seen up someone's nose. Like, that's the angle that we were at. It was a choice that I did not, I was not prepared for. Do you remember seeing all of this movie? Like, do you remember, like, does that type of camera angle happen prior to this end moment, or is that the only time?
So I had to rewatch this today because the last time I saw this, I think I was 13 or younger.
I was going to say 4.
It's pretty young.
But that makes sense.
Yeah, so I'll get into what the movie is. The movie is, I'll shotgun through the plot because it doesn't really matter.
Let's go, baby.
Vampire and Vampire's Wife, played by Jeffrey Tambor, and he's the only actor I know the name of, so other person.
You really got to get the names of the women in the film.
I don't even know that she's listed on the main cast of the IMDb.
She doesn't even get. Is she not the?
She might have been.
Character?
She might be Carrie Michelson. Unclear. The main thing is that this vampire and the vampire's wife are really excited to see a house. The realtor says, sorry, we can't sell the house because apparently the person that owned this house has died and has bequeathed it to their nephew.
Okay, the smiley man.
Right,
Got it.
the smiley man. Unclear how the realtor thought they could sell a house that wasn't on the market and was going to be bequeathed to someone, but whatever. So the vampires want to get this house because there's something in there that we find out later is a book. They want to get this book. And of course, you're like, vampires, judging a book by its cover, these are evil vampires.
They're the happiest vampires I've ever seen in my life.
And happiest family you've ever seen, the smiling dad.
I don't know if I would say they're the happiest family. It was the smiliest dad I've seen.
Smiliest dad. The family has various degrees of not being able to see the horror that's in front of them to comedic effect.
They're just super chill. They're just the most chill.
They're chill and oblivious to the point where no people exist that are like this. They really lean into the spoof part.
Okay.
They move in. It's creepy. Kid finds a book that has all these monsters in it. The book says Book of Evil.
Does it?
Yeah.
Is the classic thing where there's a book that literally is like, don't read these words or bad things will happen. And the character goes, blows off the dust and clears her throat and then reads all the words that make all the bad thing happen.
In this
Bad
one,
things happen.
you just have to look at the pictures in the book and then those monsters in the pictures.
Literally looking at the book.
Yeah.
Wow. What
They
a
streamlined
terrifying tale for anyone that likes the library. Ding, ding, dong. Me.
It's 2.0 version. You don't have to read it. We did a software update. The book now
Honestly,
just does the job.
the technology
Yeah.
ahead of their time.
Yeah. Empire Strikes Back didn't have that
Yeah,
technology.
you can look at a menu and get the food. Oh, wouldn't that be amazing?
So monsters come to life. The boy is aware of the monsters because he summoned them accidentally from this book. The father is the least aware of anything. Anytime there's a sound that he doesn't recognize, that he should say, hey, that's a person screaming or like a loud.
Screaming?
Yeah.
And he doesn't recognize a scream?
And instead he says,
Must have been an owl.
and that is a through line in the movie where something happens and he's
Call
like,
back.
he'll wake up, hear a scream and say, damn owls, and go back to bed. That is
Wow.
something that happens
You
a bunch.
You gotta love a protector.
The women in the family, the mother and the daughter, are more affected by the events. The mother has been bitten by the vampire without being known.
The male vampire bit the mom.
Yeah. So there's a weird like 80s like sprinkling of horniness that.
Yeah, that's a fun way to say lack of consent permeating the space.
But anyway, she is part vampire for most of this movie.
And the husband doesn't notice, and she
No.
doesn't notice.
She has a scarf that goes around her neck, and then when threatened with garlic or something, she has a deep voice, no! And she sleeps in a bed that has dirt in it.
Not in husband's bed.
No,
Or
it's
not
in
with
the husband,
husband.
the other side of the bed. The husband
Okay.
sees it and is like, what happened, honey? Oh, I must have dropped a flower pot. Well, we better clean that up.
So the woman knows that she's a vampire. Or she knows that
Unclear.
something is weird.
She knows that she feels weird.
She knows that she feels. I mean, we know our feelings.
That's true. The daughter is terrorized by the monsters a little bit more. There is a scene, famously, which might be on the cover of this. She goes and takes a bath,
Great.
and in the bathtub, a little shark fin comes out of the tub.
Because it's a shark monster.
Shark
ostensibly.
monster.
Sure.
And then he stands up, and he is too big to have ever been able to fit in that bathtub with another person in it. Funny reveal. And also, it's not like he's shaped like a shark. He just has
Just a dude with a shark fin on his head.
He's like a fish man with a mohawk that is a shark.
All right. I'm gonna ask you a question.
Sure.
How old is the daughter?
I don't know.
I'm gonna say teenager at best.
Yeah, could be teenager.
Movies are so gross
So gross.
and weird.
Weirdly enough, when he comes out of the water, they dub what he's saying, and what he's saying is, "Excuse me, madam, have you seen an old book?" I don't know if
At
that.
least he was polite, I guess.
I don't know if that, like much of the ADR that you pointed out, was like a post-production fix.
Let's fix this because whatever he said before is just unintelligible.
But there are weird goings on that mostly no one notices. Like there's "all dead soon" written in a window that people like are looking at, but clearly don't see, and shut the blinds in front of it. The father tries to have a cup of coffee and their eyeballs in it. He's like, I don't like the way this looks. Lots of those things. Oh, there's some fun little bits and bobs that I
Do you know
put
what
down
this is
here.
giving? It's giving scary movie.
Yeah, it is.
It's just like a proto. Is that the right word? A proto scary movie.
This is a great. Yes, it's 100% that. At one point, the mother goes into the attic and sees a bunch of bats, but of course, everything that has wings and makes sounds to the parents are owls. So she's like, "What are all these owls doing here?"
You know what that is? that is the grandparent of look at all these chickens.
That's right.
It's like, oh, these owls.
Which leads to a fun "I've got bats in my belfry" joke when they call up the exterminator. The exterminator sends his main guy, which is Van Helsing.
Oh, that's the whole. That's the lore of him, right? He fights vampires.
He fights Dracula. Yes. And in addition to bats, they have a mummy, a swamp thing, an alien, like all this type of stuff. They can't leave the house at a certain point because every time they open the door, a strong
Gust of wind.
Yeah.
Yikes! And they're just like chilling in this demon house.
To various degrees of
Yo.
effect. One of the funner jokes is that the only show that they get on TV is The Twilight Zone.
Oh, cute.
Which is always Rod Serling doing the intro, but never saying The Twilight Zone. He says,
is it him? Or are they just
No.
cutting it? Or is it some dude?
it might even be the guy that plays the father. It's a very similar
Oh my
voice.
gosh.
I can't,
Is he even able to not smile through it? Or is he just
you only
all
hear
teeth
it,
all the way?
so he's probably smiling.
No, but you can hear a smile.
I don't remember the exact quotes, but there's something like, they found themselves in a little town, a town that's weird and bizarre, a town on the outskirts of sanity, a town called Cincinnati. And they keep like setting it up like they're going to say Twilight Zone, and they never do.
They leave everyone quivering with anticipation.
Very good. Van Helsing shows up. He brings all of his stuff. I'm moving in.
He moves in?
He moves in. He's like, well, how I got to get rid of these bats because he's still on it. How long do you think it takes you think you're going to get rid of bats in a day?
I don't like that. Get out of my house.
Eventually it's revealed. You got a book. Monsters have shown up. I'm here to help.
Van Helsing is like, he peeped game and he was like, I got to help these
he knows.
people figure out this book.
He even asks, like, is there a book there? And also the vampires are like not being chill. Before they're trapped in the house and the mom goes to like the grocery store or something like that, or the daughter does, she comes back and says, I saw the people that wanted to buy the house at the store. They were really weird and they kept asking if there's an old book. The boy is the only one that really gets it. He's constantly referred to as the smart one in the family and is feeling guilty about releasing all the evil into the world. So he's like, I got to get this fixed before my parents find out.
It's okay. So, all right. He did a whoopsie by looking at the book. And he's like, oh no. And he wants to fix it.
And of course, I haven't even told you why it's called Saturday the 14th.
I thought it was just for giggles.
When they open the book, it says something to the effect of, Friday the 13th is such a curse, but Saturday the 14th is even worse. Yeah. Friday the 13th, really bad. But Saturday the 14th, oh my God.
So much worse. Oh my God.
And of course, he's summoned these monsters on Thursday the 12th.
Oh no.
And then 2 days later, it's going to be the thing.
So they invite other people into their demon house to somehow protect themselves from the ghosts and monsters that are plaguing them.
Specifically,
interesting choices.
The relatives is how they're referred to. Better invite the relatives.
Because they have that good energy.
Yes.
Well, I mean, if they produce Smiley Face Man, they probably are all smiley face themselves.
In fact, they're pretty horrible, like, people to deal with.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
nice.
they're just sort of snotty, and you don't feel bad when they get got in this movie.
They invite their relatives, who then proceed to get got.
Yes,
Yikes.
but in real silly ways.
Well, sure.
I mean, you got the tone of how much you're supposed to care about the characters by how the father reacts to everything. That carries through with everyone else in the movie.
I mean, he doesn't react to his wife turning into a vampire. So, like, I don't know that he's the, moral compass or, like, the weather vane of reactivity that I should be basing my thoughts on.
I missed a very important thing that happens that's funny in the beginning. This is like the first 5 minutes of the movie that I completely forgot about.
Okay.
You hear the dog bark outside, and the father says...
The dog that barks like a human man.
Yes. And then the father says, come on, Fido, come inside. The dog, I believe, shakes its head no and runs away. And you don't see that dog again.
Because at the end, I saw him come back, and they're like, oh, our dog's back.
Yeah, that dog's like, I'm not
the dog from the very beginning was like, there's a haunting afoot. Yeah. I want nothing to do with this.
So they have a party. The monsters are taking over and offing people, and you're getting a weird vibe of Van Helsing. He's being weird. He's writing 667 on the walls. I don't know if you noticed that. That might have been a little later.
I didn't notice that.
He couldn't remember the number.
Cool.
He also spills something and sparks fly, and it might be in a devilish symbol type thing.
So is Van Helsing like a plant? Is he not really trying to help?
It turns out towards the end, when things are going amok, the vampires come in with the boy holding the book.
Oh, so the boy disappears.
Yes.
And then he comes back with the vampires with a cape, I'm guessing.
With the cape.
And we don't see how he got the cape?
No. But we do find out that Van Helsing was one of the monsters in the book.
Dun, dun, dun.
The vampires showed him, hey, this is one of the dudes from the book. And then they have a magic off, which you saw the end of.
Wait, the dude with the glasses at the end that was growling, that was Van Helsing?
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. So that was when they all realized that he's actually bad, and he's like, cool, now I'm just going to stand in place and growl at you.
Well, they make a lot of faces.
So the final battle is a face-off.
Yeah. Gee.
Probably not as funny as I wanted it to be, but I did have that in my heart.
They are literally mugging at each other.
So weird.
At one point, he goes, blah, 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 like sticks out his tongue, Van Helsing, and it's just like
So it's him versus the child.
No, it's
Who is making the face?
The vampire and Van Helsing are.
Okay, so the vampire wife and the human family are just like
They're watching. There's collateral damage of a vase being broken from the sparks or whatever that's flying off.
Cool.
And then that basically takes us to where we're at.
I don't know how to deal with the information I've just been given. This is a film that existed and was created in 1981.
Yeah.
Or came out in 1981.
And I saw this.
You watched multiple times?
My sister, who literally just called us or tried to call me during this episode, but I was like, this is important.
I'm sorry. The call that happened was your sister.
Yeah.
And your sister has also seen this movie.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We both were at the local video store as a kid, and there was a picture of the lady in a bathtub with a shark fin coming out of it, and it said, Friday the 13th is such a curse, but Saturday the 14th is even worse. And we both went, yeah.
That's the movie.
Yeah, because back then, since the weird horniness was the norm in movies, it didn't even
register as weird. It was just like, ooh, worse than the 13th. What is that going to be like?
Next time that you are in a conversation with my sister that has a lull, as conversations naturally
Hey, what about
do.
that Saturday the 13th? Oh, the 14th.
Specifically, don't even mention that. Say, what do you think of when I say damn owls? And she will likely say Saturday the 14th, the most hilarious movie I've ever seen, because she's only seen it when she was a kid.
I should maybe in person or text her, just be like, the other day, the darndest thing, there were so many owls. And just do that and see. What if I slowly troll your sister with the knowledge that I've seen this movie, or at least I know of it in some capacity?
I'm trying to think of the best way for it to click. I think if a noise happens that clearly isn't an owl.
That is a good idea. This is a long this is how you plan a bit, folks.
Yeah.
You gotta put that in your pocket until the right time.
If we're ever at her house and the kids make a noise in the other room and you say damn owls, she will light up.
I think I'm not going to say that.
Even if you say dang owls.
I might say dang owls.
I think it'll work.
Okay.
Well, now that you know what the movie is and love the movie.
I know what it is.
Favorite movie of the year. Yeah, I guess the real question now is, you said that sometimes you want to just know what the movie's about. Sometimes you know the ending of it and you're like, great, let's watch this movie. We have just watched the ending of a movie that is freely available on YouTube.
That's true.
And now
and you told me what happened.
I told you about it. Maybe I've piqued your interest.
It's possible.
It's possible. Question is, would you watch this movie ever?
No.
Never.
I don't think I would sit down to watch the movie in its entirety. Perhaps I would find select scenes. If there's someone that did a supercut of every time the father mentioned the owls, that sounds fun. The movie with just the mom dealing with her vampirism might be interesting. But yeah.
I would say...
Also, how did that dude get in the house? So he's not part of the family?
Oh, sorry. He's from the liquor store, and they had to order supplies for the party because they can't leave the house.
Right.
But they can certainly let people in. So he brings...
But whoever comes in cannot be let out.
That's what he finds out the hard way.
So they should have left the door open when he came in.
Sure.
And then gotten out themselves.
But it was a fun moment. He enters, there's no wind or crazy fog or anything like that. Goes away. The son's like, well, screw this. I'm going to leave, and opens the door, and there's wind and fog and all that stuff. The father, I don't think, was in the room when that delivery happened. So throughout the party, he keeps saying, who's that kid? What is he doing?
So he's the only. So everyone else knows who the kid is. The father doesn't know.
I think
continues to ask and is never told.
I think Van Helsing knows, and I think the son knows.
And they just are never there when the dad is asking, or they just are too busy.
I know the son isn't there, but weirdly enough, I think Van Helsing is there, but Van Helsing is evil. So
Yes, and evil people do not answer questions.
Don't answer it.
Or give you additional information.
They spread chaos.
Well, I don't want to say that because I like to spread chaos myself.
They spread
In fun ways.
evil chaos.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the qualifier. That's helpful.
No problem. So you still wouldn't see this movie?
Not in its entirety.
Okay.
Again, I might watch a clip or two here or there, but I don't know if I want to sit down for the whole thing.
What are your feelings now that everything has been revealed about this movie? I know you won't watch it.
It is interesting. I mean, I guess they did do movies like this that were parodies. So it is interesting to like find out about a parody that I hadn't heard of before. That's kind of cool. It's part of a long tradition, right? Because I think what was the one with not Liam Neeson? What was his name?
Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie.
Airplane.
Yeah, all of those, like those are all like part of a like parody tradition.
Yeah. Spoof, I think is the term.
Spoof movies. And I don't know if you had asked me like what was the first spoof movie for horror genre, I don't know that I would have like, yeah, there probably should have been other ones before Scary Movie. Scary Movie probably wasn't like the first one ever, but it's the most contemporary one, and it feels like it really does feel like the only one. So it is interesting that there's like another one, though I guess it didn't really work out because there's probably no Saturday the 14th 2.
What other movie can compare to Saturday the 14th?
Yeah, they probably were like, let me just take a decade break, count my money, watch it grow.
Watch it grow, and you all watch us grow as a channel. That good, right?
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, we're growing, we're learning.
Yeah.
I'm being slightly tortured by movies.
They won't all be torturous, but this,
Okay.
honestly, I wasn't sure that this would be torture. I thought like the campiness
I mean, it wasn't. I mean, it could have been much worse.
could have been worse.
I should do this to you and make you watch like the end of The Cell. Have you seen that movie?
I don't remember.
Oh man,
The
because
thing
that's a film.
But the
It's
issue
pretty
is that
dark.
I don't want spoilers. Whereas you're.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, what a nice loophole where I can never do this to you.
What a nice loophole. And let's do this again.
All right.
If anyone listening out there or watching this on YouTube has any suggestions
Yeah,
for
you
a
want to listen
movie,
to this podcast.
how dare you, has any suggestions of movies that have a bizarre ending that would be hard to guess out of context, send them our way. Please, please, please. Of course, always smash that like
Oh
button.
my gosh.
Smash that
Gently
subscribe.
caress
Ooh.
the like button.
Oh, okay. Get your softest feather on the subscribe button.
That's a very different channel. Say that for another podcast. Maybe.
Different podcast. But like, subscribe, comment, do all this stuff if you're inclined, or don't. Whatever. You're an adult. Live your life.
Hopefully.
I'm not going to
There
tell
might
you.
be children. We don't know.
Don't watch this if you're a child.
You're not allowed.
Yeah, not
Get your
allowed.
parents' permission.
Sorry.
We want everyone to be checking in. Make sure your parents know the movie. Make them watch the movie first.
Make them watch.
Make them listen to the episode
Listen,
and watch the movie,
watch.
and then you can decide.
Then you
they
can
can decide
decide
if you can watch.
for you, but we won't decide. But we hope if you can watch this movie
Yeah.
and watch this program to come back next time when we will be watching a different movie.
Toodaloo.
Oh, toodaloo. That's canon now. That's how we end it. Toodaloo.